Hey guys, RJ here. I wanted to share with you my latest obstacle and how a little imagination and some light CAD design along with a 3D printer facilitated a solution. I thought, wouldn't it be great to mount a webcam on my workbench right above the work area? That way I could record, the stuff I do on the bench, whether it be, reloading 9mm for my XDM, tearing a computer apart, creating something out of an Arduino. I do a lot of stuff on that bench. I thought it might be interesting to record some of it. So not putting much forethought into it, I rushed off and purchased the webcam and a newer articulating friction arm, which I love these things, by the way. These are fantastic. Well worth the money. You can get these on Amazon. I discovered, unfortunately, that there wasn't really an easy way to mount the webcam onto the bench. At least not without drilling holes in it, and I didn't want to do that. So this is what I came up with. It's 5 pieces, designed in Fusion 360, printed on my Flash Forge Creator Pro, and assembled with super glue. So let me show you how I did this. Okay guys, this is Fusion 360. And this is an empty canvas, so I've already built this mount, so I'm going to go ahead and load up so you can take a look at it, and we'll just rebuild it together. I don't remember all the dimensions, so we'll have to refer back to this one, but just to start off, I'm very new to Fusion 360, so I'm sure there are many ways and probably better ways of doing things than what I'm going to show you. But it's pretty easy. So let's go ahead and start a new canvas. So what I normally like to do is, when I'm designing, I like to design using sketches. So that way I can make it parametric. If I need to change something, it's quite easy to make those changes. So we'll start with a sketch. We're going to use this plane, which is the what I call the ground plane. And then we'll use the circle tool, grab the center. And like I said, I don't quite remember the dimensions, so we'll just do 30mm. Start off with, and we can always refer back to this one to see what it was. Yep, 30mm. And what I like to do is put a line across here and here. Hit escape key to go back to the normal select function, and what we're going to do is we're going to extrude this section here. Right click, select extrude, and I believe I am 88.54 high. And let me move it down, and let's just check that to make sure. So we'll get out of this sketch. Use the inspect tool, just select the top and then bottom, and it's 88.54. Alright, so the next thing we need to do is there is an overhang that comes out of here, and then through 2 pieces in the center or in the main body, and then a lower extrusion that comes out. This area is what sets on the top of the bench rim, and the bottom is what kind of kind of hangs onto the bottom of the section of the bench. So let's go ahead and right click on this plane and create sketch. Use the rectangle tool, grab the corner here and grab that, and we're done there. So we'll go ahead and dimension the width here, which we'll make it 3 millimeters. And then we also need one down here. We'll make it right here. Oops, I'm still in the dimensioning tool. I need to go back to the rectangle tool. Select here. And we'll make another one about here. And another one at this corner. Alright, now we can dimension these. We'll start with this one. And I believe it is 8 millimeters, but we'll check that. And we'll go with 3 millimeters here. Same for this one. And same, oh, we already did that, correct. All right, so we got our 3 areas where we're going to be extruding outward in the Y direction, if you will. So this one is going to be a part of the body. It's going to be a part of this body. These 3 will not. And that's because you're going to super glue those in. Just makes it a lot easier in printing. So let's go ahead and pick the top one, right click, extrude, and we'll, I'm not sure what I think it's 12, but so we'll put 12 in there. And you can go to the navigation or the browser, and this will show your sketches and your body sections. So as you can see, this is all one body. When we highlight it, it highlights the entire body. Oh, and I forgot to show you. When we extruded that, it automatically selects join over here. And in this case, we want that because, again, we want it. It's all going to be print. It's going to be print at the same time. But on the next one, we do not want that. So we'll turn this on. We'll grab this area here. Oh, let me. What is? There we go. Grab that. Right click, extrude, and I guess we'll go out 12 for now. Oh, and let me show you. I did that wrong. So, right click, extrude, and as soon as you start extruding, you see how it defaults to join, but we don't want that. And in this case, actually, I want to pick this section and this section to extrude with it. So we'll do it all in one step, and we'll use the new body, and we will extrude out to 12. Okay, and there we go. So let's just check my original and see what we extruded out to. Okay, 12 on that one. I think it's, yeah, it's 24, so we'll go back on that one. And then those pieces were 12. So this piece we need to go farther out. So we'll pick, oops, what did I do? I think I inadvertently hit the wrong, yeah, extrude. So we already had 12 and we need to go out to 24. All right. Okay, so we have 3 steps. Oh, and by the way, when I did the second one, I'll show you, I left it at join because this is all going to be one piece, this bottom here. Okay. So, in the model, I filleted, is that a word? I placed a fillet on these corners here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the sketch off. I have those 2 selected. Right click. Oops, I need to, let's go back here. Select, and fillet. And we'll bring this in, I think I use 5 millimeters. Yeah, 5 millimeters. We'll just leave it at 5 for now. You get the idea. So anyway, what that does is, as you can see, that leaves a space between this object or this body and this body. But we'll fix that later. So one of the things we need to do is we need to create a lip coming down off of here, which this will be the lip that actually grabs onto the top of the frame of the workbench. So we'll right click on this surface, create sketch. It kind of throws you on the top of the orientation here. So to make this a little easier, you can turn off the other bodies. So again, we'll use the square tool. And let's see. That's good. We'll dimension it. And we'll do 3 millimeters. Okay. So what we want to do now is extrude this. And we'll do 8. 8 for now. And that's what it looks like. All right, so we can check to see what we actually did extrude this out to. So as you hover over the timeline, as you see, it highlights certain sections of the model. So we want to find the one. It should be early on. There it is. To find out what we extruded. We extruded down 7 millimeters. All right, so let's go back. So we know that that was the one we did, and we'll just change this to 7 millimeters. All right. Now we want to create a chamfer along this edge and along this edge, just to give it a little more strength in those areas. And all I'm doing is I'm holding down the control key while I'm selecting these edges, and then just right click on one of them, and choose chamfer, and I'm thinking 1.5. Yeah, 1.5 looks good. Okay, so that gives us a little strength here and there. So let's go ahead and turn this body back on and this body. So you don't actually need, in the sketch, you don't actually need to create 2 of these. All you really need to do is create 1, but if you want to show the model as you're drawing it out, I just put 2 in there. because you can just simply print two of them because they're identical. They'll be identical. So what we want to do is we want to recess this body into this body and have this edge come past this edge by the width of the steel edge on the bench, which I believe is 1.59 millimeters roughly. So what we'll do is we'll move this body. I'll pick that plane and we'll hit move. And I think you can also do both at the same time. Select this. So we are in 4 millimeters. So I don't know exactly. We'll do 4.5. And an easy way to see where we're at, just use the inspection tool. Grab this and this. And we're 1.5 millimeters away. So we need to increase that a little bit. So close that, go back to the move. And select this again. And we'll just move it in 0.0. And we'll just do 0.10. That should be good. Alright, so double check our work. And 1.60. That's fine. So now what we need to do is cut these bodies with this to make that edge. So what we'll do is go to Modify, Combine. We're going to select the target body, which in this case is this one, and then we're going to select the tool body, which is this. So we should be able to subtract this area from this body. So we're going to choose Cut, Keep Tools, and OK. So let's see if that worked. OK, it worked that time. Not sure what I did wrong. Might have hit the cancel button. I'll have to go back and look. So as you can see, it cut that section away, so we can easily glue it in. So we just need to do the same thing to this one, because like I said, I haven't figured out a way to do them both at the same time. So again, combined, we're going to select this as the target body, this is the tool body. We're going to, it remembers the last time, your last operation, so it's already set for cut, and we're going to keep the tool again. And that should have cut that body out. Great. So, need to do it one more time, but this time we've got to move this in. We actually didn't include the move when we did these, so we'll do that now. Right click and go to Move, and select that one, and we'll just move this in just enough where we're inside of this body. Let's make sure. Yeah, that looks good, because this needs to stick out farther than this edge for the grip. So let's go ahead and do the same thing. Go to Modify, Combine, select the target body, and then the tool body. We're already with cut, and we're going to keep the tool. We're going to keep this. All right, let's hide the main body, and there we go. So one of the things I discovered when gluing this in was that it was a bit difficult to keep these steady along here as you're gluing them in. So what I was thinking was, if I were to just place a little something on this edge line, that might help keep everything in place. So what we can do is just simply the opposite, to create little indentations in the main body, so it's a little easier to glue. So what we want to do is move each one of these in just slightly, and we'll do maybe, I don't know, let's do 0.5 millimeter. That's all we should need. So now what we can do is just the opposite. So we'll do a modify, combine, and the target body will now be the main body, and then the tool bodies will be these bodies. And you can by holding the control key, you can select multiple tool bodies. You just can't do the opposite. You can't select multiple target bodies. It's cut, which we want, and we want to keep the tool. So if we do this, let's see if this works. Okay, so if we hide these bodies, we kind of get a little tiny indentation. So we should be pretty good along here. Now we may run into a problem where after this prints that there might not be quite enough space between this edge, and let me show you here, oops, and the top edge. So we'll wait and see if that's actually the case. So let's go ahead and go back to here. So it turns out that the distance between this edge and this top edge is a problem when it prints. The shrinkage doesn't allow easily for the piece to sit in here for gluing. So one easy way to resolve it is just zoom in, select these areas, and I'm going to see if I can do them both at the same time, or all of them at the same time. And then you're going to extrude. Let me see, let me see if I can get this body. Nope, it's not going to let me do it. Okay, so let's do one at a time here. Extrude. And we're going to go, what I normally do is, because I have a hard time with which direction, if it's negative or positive, so I just do a dry run kind of to see which way is negative. So we're negative because we want this edge to come down so we can just widen the gap, and all you need to do is just one edge. So just do negative point, in this case probably 0.12. It's already set to cut, and all you need to do is, that's it. And we'll do the same for this edge. And that should give us enough room to print. What I did notice is this edge hangs a little bit, so we should do the same for this, just to give us a little more room at the bottom. Extrude, and let's just see what direction we go. Yeah, we're negative, so negative 0.12, and we're good. And there you have it. So in my original design, you'll notice that I put 2 holes in here, and the original thinking was that I would drop little knurl inserts into the plastic, and then have a flattened head screw down in there and kind of press against the metal. but that didn't work out so well. So I then tried magnets. That again didn't work out so well. So what worked out best was a small piece of rubber super glued to this base, and that worked very well. It grabbed that metal quite nicely, as you'll see. The magnets just slid on the really slick metal. Alright, so you can go back to here, and we can pretty this up a little bit, these edges, so we can throw a fillet on these. We're going to leave these flat because these need to rest against the face of the workbench. But we'll put a fillet on this one. And we'll just do 5 millimeters. 5 millimeters, that's fine. All right, and that's it. That's all there is. So from here, you would just export each piece out. So you could pick the body, right click on it, save as STL. And what I found this is a bit unusual. I'm not sure why this does this, but if you have the refinement select to high, if you use at least Simplify 3D, it doesn't surfaces. The very final surface is half a layer. It's strange. Like anywhere in that top surface, for instance, if you were printing this flat and this was the top on the bed, like somewhere, anywhere on this surface, it would not complete all the way through. So you'd have a little bump, kind of a raised layer on there. But what I found was if you use medium, that doesn't happen. So just a little tidbit there. Use the medium refinement. And then you can either select to send it to a third-party program, which I have custom, or you can use Print Studio or Mesh Mixer, which is it's an Autodesk programs. Mesh Mixer is really good, but you don't need the step because in Simplify 3D it's pretty easy to orient the models. But just to show you, I guess I'll just use the Mesh Mixer. So obviously you don't want it to print like that, so you go to Transform, Rotate, and then you find whatever axis you want to rotate it on. So in this case we want to rotate in that position and then select Move to Platform, and that'll set it smack in the middle for you, right on the surface. So if you save it now, export out now, then you can it'll export or import into Simplify 3D in this orientation. But like I said, it's an extra step, and if you don't need to do any surface work, it's an extra step because it's fairly easy to orient your objects in Simplify 3D. Okay guys, let's go watch a time lapse of that mount being printed. Now this is a revision 1 print, so it doesn't have the indentations in the body. Neither does when I assemble it and show you the gluing of it. Neither does that one. So yeah, kind of an abrupt stop. So here we're going to assemble. This is the body. Here's the base, and one side will be rough and the other side will be smooth. You're going to print the rough side down. Here are the two braces and a piece of rubber. You can use a inner tube from a bicycle. That should work fine. And some crazy glue. So I'll go ahead and speed this up while we're watching. So here I'm applying the super glue to the base. I misspoke. The rough side goes down, not printed down. So make sure the rough side is down. And you can see them trying to get this thing attached. And this is what I was talking about earlier about being a bit difficult to get in place. Make sure you apply some additional super glue around all the seams so it creates a nice strong bond. And that's probably the most stressed joint in the whole mount. Here I'm just applying a little bit of glue on the stands, and these again they gave me a bit of a problem getting them get in the right position. So again, put a little extra glue around that just to help. I still struggled with getting it sitting in there well enough. And here goes the second one. Gave me equal amount of frustration there. And some more fighting with it. Yeah, so you can see the indentations in the body is it'll work much better. So at that point, I'm just measuring up for the rubber. Gonna apply some crazy glue to it. And then attach it to the base. And of course, in all my wisdom, I cut it too long. So now, as you'll see, I'm going to struggle with trying to cut this off. And this rubber is kind of thick, and of course I don't have anything that's sharp. Even my razor blade gave me troubles. I need to get some sharp knives. So yep, trying to be careful, cutting off that excess rubber. And there it is. Okay guys, I'm back all the way over to the bench. And I've got my mount, bracket, holder, I don't know what you call it, but and my webcam already pre-mounted to the articulating friction arm. And by the way, this clamp comes with the friction arm. So basically this just is placed anywhere along this edge here, which will have a great view over my work area. So all you do is you set it on the edge, right on this lip, and then just press it down in place. Take the arm, clamp it, and you're done. That's it. A solution for my problem. Man, I absolutely love 3D printing. You can just take just an idea and just bring it to life. That's what's so much fun with 3D printing. And there is the view above my workbench. Isn't it just gorgeous? So that's it, guys. I hope you liked the video. I hope you found it informative. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Find it useful? Are you really having fun with 3D printing? Are you looking at getting a 3D printer? Yeah, let's talk about it. Until next time, take care.